Hello everyone, Andy aka Death by Foxy here, and for my first video, I wanted to take a look back at the last 5 years of gaming and break down my favorite moments. Now, these aren't necessarily my favorite games in the last 5 years, but instead moments that were fun or surprising and stood out from the rest. Now, warning, there are going to be some spoilers ahead, so beware. But, without further ado, these are my top 7 favorite moments in gaming of the last 5 years. For the first game on our list, coming in at number 7, we have the very recent release of Gears 5. The campaign for Gears 5 has a 3-player co-op that allows one of you to play as the robot companion Jack. At first glance, I was a little skeptical about this, as I figured it was more of a gimmick than an actual inclusion to the campaign. But I quickly realized that's not the case. Jack's gameplay is honestly a blast. I didn't play as him until about halfway into our campaign, but once I started, I didn't want to stop, playing as him all the way to the last mission. He has a nice spread of abilities and upgrades, and at times, he even feels more powerful than the other players. If you haven't played as Jack in the campaign yet, or in Horn mode, do yourself a favor and give him a shot. At number 6, we have our first of several PlayStation exclusives on the list, with PS4's Spider-Man. Overall, every element in this game was a blast, from the improved web slinging through New York to the amazing combat. But the moment that left me wanting more comes at the end of the game, with the reveal of Harry Osborn being in Norman's lab the whole time. During the game, you get to hear about Harry being away and you're unable to contact him. You do some side missions for him in the form of his mother's research labs, and other than that, not much attention is drawn to him. But at the end of the game, it's revealed he was in a chamber in Norman's secret lab the whole time. Not only that, but it's a lab you were in earlier in the game as Mary Jane. This heavy Venom vibe seems to be setting up for an eventual sequel, which personally, I cannot wait for.
I love you, son.
Number 5 is yet another PS4 exclusive, but this really shouldn't be surprising after the great few years they've had. This moment comes from Horizon Zero Dawn, which I can easily say is one of my top 5 games of all time. This game had amazing set pieces and an even better story. I could probably do an entire video on the storytelling technique in this game alone. That being said, our moment for today comes not from the story, but from a random encounter partway through the game. Just outside the main city of Meridian, you get a chance to fight your first Thunderjaw. And man, are these things ferocious. Later in the game, when you're stacked up on gear and skills, they can be fairly simple to take out. But when you randomly encounter this first one, before even making it to the main hub of the game, you are in for one hell of a fight. In my first playthrough, I didn't even see the thing until it was practically already attacking me, which made for one of the best moments in the campaign. Number 4 comes from one of my favorite franchises of all time, Halo. Going into Halo 5, we knew we were going to be playing as a new squad led by a Spartan named Locke. After 4+ games, we'd gotten pretty used to our usual cast of characters, and being told we would be playing half of the game as this whole new squad left me with my doubts. But those didn't last for long. The intro for Locke's team instantly solidified them as a group of badasses. Watching them fight their way down this mountainside in an all-out war, and looking good all the while, is no easy feat. But by the time their intro cinematic was done, I was all on board with Team Locke. As a side note for Halo 5, If you're a fan of the franchise and you haven't listened to the podcast Hunt the Truth, do yourself a favor and check it out. It's a fantastic world-building device with some real incredible voice actors. Moment number 3 comes from one of the best games ever created, Breath of the Wild. And while there are countless amazing moments in this game, I have to include the Master Sword. Finally getting this iconic weapon feels absolutely amazing, especially if you went in not knowing how many hearts you needed to pull it out from the stone. Anxiously watching your hearts deplete as you attempt to pull it from the stone makes it that much better when you finally do. It is also followed by one of the best story beats in the game, as we get to see Princess Zelda leave the Master Sword here to recover, as she prepares to take on Calamity Ganon 100 years in the past. And let's be real, it was also pretty amazing to finally have a permanent weapon to take with you.
Your master will come for you. Until then, you shall rest safely here. Although the slumber of restoration will most certainly deprive him of his memories, please trust me when I say that I know he will arrive before you yet again.
Coming in at number 2, we have one of my favorite RPGs of all time, Dragon Age Inquisition. Closing the rift in the sky so early in the game felt a little too easy, and as it turns out, it was. After a short-lived celebration, Haven is attacked by a massive unknown force. After successfully holding off your newly revealed antagonist and allowing your people to escape, you trudge through the mountains to reunite with them, only to find your advisors unable to work together and agree on what happens next. It's here we get one of the greatest moments of the game, as Mother Giselle starts to sing a rendition of the theme, "The Dawn Will Come." As she continues to sing, slowly everyone joins in, and the whole scene gave me chills. It's a perfect way to set the tone for the game going forward, and the scene solidifies the Inquisition's trust in you as a leader. And for the number 1 slot, we have none other than God of War. Going into this game, we really weren't sure what to expect. Everything from the gameplay, setting, style, and even choice of weapon were drastically different in this new God of War title. The moment comes about halfway through the game, as we'd finally gotten comfortable with our new Leviathan axe, and feel pretty good about the combat in the game. It's here that the developers pull a 180 on us, and reveal that Kratos' Blades of Chaos from the original trilogy were under the home all along. We are treated with a long cinematic teasing the reveal as Kratos makes his way back to their home, dealing with the ghosts of his past in the form of Athena. Then, after reuniting with his old tools of destruction, we get a great showcase of their power. This truly was one of the best moments in recent gaming, especially for fans of the original trilogy. And I appreciate the developers going out of their way to make this moment so dramatic and surprising.
There's nowhere you can hide, Spartan. Put as much distance between you and the truth as you want. It changes nothing. Pretend to be everything you are not. Teacher, husband, father. But there is one unavoidable truth you will never escape. You cannot change. You will always be a monster.
I know. But I am your monster no longer.
Alright, well that's my favorite gaming moments of the last 5 years. Do you have any you would have put on the list? If so, comment below with your favorite moment, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that bell icon if you want to be alerted when I post new videos. You can also check out my other content over on Twitch, where I'm streaming games like this, and more, almost every day. And don't forget to check out the Discord channel to connect with the community. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.